Okay, now, what have I been doing? Let's continue, right? You know there's a name for this numeral system. You know what it's called, right?
Base 4?
Numbers to base 4. That's what it is. Numbers to base 4. In base 4, I think. So that's what it's all about. Meaning, once you understand our own numeral system, then you know you can do any number in any base. Now I should give you a fair warning. Number in base 2 is the computer science numeral system. But that is probably the most confusing. So don't say, well, it's so only 2 symbols, therefore I want to teach kiddies the first thing in the morning. The binary system is the most confusing. You should do it after you have done the base 3, base 5, and then really firmly rooted, understand the basic principle, then you can go to binary system. Okay, so let's continue with this. The thing is that, you see, we can count in any numeral system, but you should be able to correlate the different ways of count. Right? And that's why we want to spend a little time here to understand what we're doing. And in the process, when you do this, you understand it in base 4, then you come back to base 10, then you really have a different perspective on what you have been doing. If I keep doing on base 10, you see, there's too much of repetition of your prior experiences. You probably sleep through it. When I force you to base 4, then you'll have to think a little bit. And that's the purpose, right? So this is not doing things because it's fancy. That's not the purpose. The purpose is to jolt you a little bit. Force you to think it harder. Okay. Now, so let's continue with this. So in other words, you count, the way we count is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, right? But if you count in base 4, it would be what? This is the 1, this is the 2, this is 3, this is the 4 is 1, 0, 5 is 1, 1. 6 is 1, 2, 7 is what? Oh, 1, 3, sorry. That's 3. I'm sorry. My own mind. 1, 3. And what's the next one? 2, 0. Right? Because you have to go back here. 1, 3, 2, 0. So you have to go back. You have to understand this is the basic feature of mathematics. You can't do this until you understand this. Right? And you cannot go to 4 digits until you understand 3 digits. Right? So it's always hierarchical. Right? So coming back to my original question this morning was, what is number, if we count starting with 1, not with 0, right? What's number 32? Not just that you tell me what the answer is, but you tell me the reason why you know that the 32nd number. Okay.
200.
Great. Explain to us, why is 200?
Well, you know that you're going to have 64. I don't know what we're calling them right now. Symbol numbers written up there.
Okay, in base 4.
In base 4.
Okay.
And so you asked for 32, which is halfway to 64. And so we've got this matrix here with 4 rows, and so halfway through it is going to be exactly where the 200 falls.
Okay.
The second way would be, across the top that you have 15. You have there's
16 numbers.
16 numbers, but
if you count by steps,
you counted 15.
It's the 15th step. Right.
So your second row, you have counted
16. This is the 16th step.
That's the 16th.
This is number 16. And then
full
row, therefore
to get you to
16.
200.
I think that may be more acceptable to most people. Is that right? The second one?
Yeah.
So because exactly, but when you think this way, it helps you to see the numbers. Right? You have rows, but basically you have 4 rows of 16 numbers. This is how you finish one row, you come to 16.
Right.
Another row, you come to 32nd. And then this number is what?
48.
48, right? You all agree?
Yeah.
And then we come to the end. This is the what number? What?
63.
63rd. 63rd number. Starting with 1.
Yeah.
If this is 1, then it's number 63. And then number 64 would be what? Oh, what is it in base form? 1, 0, 0, 0.
Yeah.
Better not say 1,000 because that's too confusing, right? We just count a digit. 1, 0, 0, 0. So you get the hang of this? Any questions? For example, what's the 37th number in base 4? 37th number in base 4.
211.
So now, you already know this is 32, right? 33, 34, 35, 36. So 2, what? The number 37 in our system corresponds to 211 in base 4. Good? Okay, your question?
Yeah, because
Oh.
I think we can use division to figure out the digits. The 100 digit and the 10th digit, and then the last
What do you mean
digit.
we're using division?
Because you got 37, and you divide it by 15.
37. Oh, I see.
That is
You
100
mean division with
digits.
remainder.
Yeah,
Okay,
because
we
it's
got
a one period is a
Exactly.
15.
Every row is 16,
Yeah,
right?
15. 15 steps.
Well, I think, for your own benefit, I think it's better to think of it as 16 and then take away 1 at the end.
Oh,
Because the first row is 15 number, how many are in the second row?
60.
So how are you going to keep track of that? If that's too confusing. Treat every row as 16 numbers. Right? So now we come to 4 digits, each row will have 64 numbers.
Yeah.
Keep it 64 all the way because then you don't have to think twice.
Oh.
Alright?
Yes.
And then you say, oh, I'm counting starting with 1 and not 0, therefore I give away 1. That just makes things easy, I think. Systematic, right? So this has to do with division with remainder, but you know that, it's fine, but you can use it, of course. Yeah. 37, okay. We're going to do it later, but since you bring it up, we can do it now. Alright? Alright. So what I'm sorry. What Annie was saying was that this is in fact actually if you do some of homework problems, you have to think this way because otherwise the counting gets too onerous. Right? So 37. What Annie was saying was that I want to find out what number that is. So basically you have to know which row it would be, right? So you say divide by 32, or by 16 actually.
16, right? How many 16s? Second row. Third row.
It is what? What is it? 2 what? In the what?
Then you
So that means you have to go through 2 rows, and then the third row, and count 5 steps, right?
Yeah.
Is this absolutely correct?
Did we need one as well?
no.
Nobody objects to it?
Start at the second row. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The 2 indicates you go through 2 rows.
Steps.
2 16ths. 2 of the 16ths. So when you have, then you're entering the third row. So it's this one.
It's the 5th step, though. It's the 5th step.
Yeah.
The
So
fifth
Yeah, that's the
number,
hard
the
part.
fifth Step.
from here.
1.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
1.
1. That's why I kept saying we're counting by steps.
Right.
Don't forget that. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very important. 2, 3, 4, 5.
Right.
So we fix that convention.
Either that or if you're going to count them, then you
No,
subtract the
no,
1.
no, that's super confusing.
Yeah.
Okay. Lord, I was on the board. Is it okay with everybody? It is? that's a second issue.
Yeah.
But nobody, I know some of you are trying to be nice to me and so on. If you all consider this to be correct, and I want to emphasize the point I mentioned almost at the beginning, we have this culture of textbook mathematics. That's ruining almost everything. This, think about it. If I tell you it's wrong, what's on the board? Can you find it? Explain to me why it's wrong. Yes?
Well, the R, well, that doesn't really stand for anything in this system. No?
Yes,
It's,
but
'cause it's not a remainder.
you're getting to the place you should go, but you're not getting inside. You're hovering on the outside. What is it? What exactly is wrong with it?
Well, closer than
Try harder.
Okay.
What's wrong with it in base 10 or in base 4?
No, just what is in front of you should in the front to your sentence. Is that a delicate way of saying it? Alright, Priscilla?
If you just look at 2R5, where is that on the number line?
Okay, can you make it a bit more precise than that? See, and I'm pushing you. You all will be pushed to be more precise, and that's very difficult, right? But so you have to learn it. That's okay. We're all learning together. Okay, and so I know what's the name of it?
Kathleen.
Kathleen. Right.
What does that mean? Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, yes, we understand that, but what does it really mean? How does it relate? If we want the children to understand counting and base 10, that's teaching them a way to come up with an answer, but it's not giving them the understanding of what
No,
base
sorry.
system is. Is that not what
You
you're-
misunderstood me. Sorry, I did not make myself clear. At the moment, I'm not worried about that.
Okay.
I have to look at this by itself. I say, what's wrong?
You say 37 equals 2 times 16 plus 5?
Yes, but answer this question first. What's wrong with what's in front of you? See, I'm trying to get you to see for yourself to make good decisions. So after this, when you see something similar, you say, that's really wrong. You have to get to that point, right? So let's get started. What's wrong with this? All right. What does this mean? Equal sign, what does it mean? Right?
It's the same as.
Same value. Okay. So what's the value of 2R5?
37 divided by 60.
Is it? Really?
Well, in base 4.
Really?
Two and 5/16.
No, but you don't know that.
I don't know how to do it. Yeah. Is this correct?
Yes.
No.
20.
29. Is that correct? Is it correct?
But they mean different
Right.
things, so you want the fraction.
So this is 2R5, this is 2R5. The same value, right? Therefore, 37 divided by 16 is the same as 29 divided by 12. Is that correct?
No.
So what's wrong?
It's really important what you're dividing by.
What's that?
It's really important what you're dividing by.
The remainder is.
Well, what's wrong is that you should never have written this in the first place, correct? That's right?
So should it be 2 and 5/16?
We're not doing fractions.
Oh.
Right? We're not doing fractions. Right? Imagine yourself in a third grade or something. You don't do that. Right? So I think it was.
Yeah, Jennifer, if you said it equals 2
Right?
16 plus.
The correct way to write this is not this. What you want to say is 37 is 2 times 16.
Oh.
The way to write this is 29 is 2 times 12.
Uh-huh.
only correct way to express division with remainder.
Right.
Have you ever seen a single mathematics textbook in your life that does not write this? Have you? So I'm trying to tell you that what's in the textbook really corrupting, and it's doing a great disservice to all of you. There'll be no end of things I want to point out, but that's the beginning. So we try to do things right. Now, why is it so bad, by the way? Because you teach children like this. What do you think they think of the equal sign? What do you think they think it is? It just means nothing. It's an expression. It's
Do an
more or less.
operation.
Yeah, it's just something you just write down. Doesn't mean anything. After that, how do you do mathematics? But everything is only more or less like that. Oh, 2 is more or less the same as 3. Completely corrupts learning. So every little thing matters in mathematics, right? So we're going to keep going at this for a long time. So okay, now I want you to work on something. We don't have a document camera, so therefore I cannot show it, but it's in your book. Go to page 15. There's an activity on page 15. I want you to do it. You can discuss freely with your neighbor, with people behind you, whatever. In fact, it's better you work in groups and you can check each other's work. 2 or 3 or 4 doesn't matter. Just it's very informal. When we do such things, you just freely consult whatever is available.
Page 15, the activity at the bottom.
Yeah, somewhere there. I don't know where.
Yeah,
it is.
so it's the same one.